Okay, I think we are ready after a fair bit of troubleshooting. Been having some issues here with the internet. Also, welcome, Dark Collis. Welcome back, Dragon Champion. Thanks for the follow, appreciate it. We're gonna attempt to do something here. Hopefully I don't have any more connection issues, but it has been a pain trying to get these problems sorted out. And I'm not even sure that it's something that I can actually fix. I think it might just be an issue with my ISP that is unfixable, but we'll see. I don't know. That's just what my quick research into the problem has told me, but who can say? Anyway, we're here. We're going to be doing some Halo 4, continuing where we picked up, left off, rather. We're picking up where we left off. And yeah, let's see if we can get this done. I got no idea. The problem that I'm seeing more than likely is that someone else in the neighborhood is uploading, and you know, there's no, in my area, there's no fiber optic. If I had fiber optic internet, then that wouldn't be a problem. But since it's a cable internet, basically, I think if somebody is uploading like at a high connection speed, then it just docks everybody else that's in the surrounding area. And I can't come up with any other reason, because I did nothing, and then the stream just sort of sorted itself out. So we'll see. Hopefully, if I've got the connection now, then that means nobody else can mess with it. But, you know, who knows? Happens all the time with your roommates. Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering, because I know what it sounds like. It sounds like, you know, a bad Wi-Fi connection, and I got a bunch of people, like, you know, backpacking off of mine. But it's not that people are connected to my internet. It's just like the cable connection with my current ISP user. If there's too many people that use this current ISP, it's like it causes issues with uploads. So I got no idea. But we're on now. We're here, and hopefully we don't have any future problems. So let's get it started. Okay. So let me check here, make sure that the volume isn't too overpowering. Because sometimes... Okay, it looks like we're good. Sometimes this game like docks my volume, and then sometimes it's fine. I think all of when I played Combat Evolved, I had absolutely zero issues. And then any other time, except for maybe like once or twice, I think, what did I do? ODST or 4 the first time around, where it didn't do that, and I was surprised. It doesn't matter. Yeah, very nostalgic.
I'm sorry, I just can't stop them. It's like a thousand of me arguing all at once.
Dr. Tilson, are you there?
Oh, thank God. When your signal cut off,
Doctor, listen to me. You have to issue the order to evacuate the station.
We've been trying. The Covenant, they've already taken over the landing bays.
Send me your coordinates. I'll see what I can do about clearing an evac route on my way to you.
Okay. Making sure I got all my chat windows up and everything. Let's get started. So we are at a research station that is in front or near a Halo. But basically, there's some Covenant here. Oh, jeez. That are being led by the old progenitor man, whatever his name is. There's a human grenade launcher. Oh, okay. You mean that in the sense... Sticky detonator. You mean that in the sense that it's human-made, not that it launches humans. What is this? Oh, is that... that must be it, then. But anyway, there's some sort of Forerunner artifact here that apparently they're trying to get their hands on. So we gotta stop it. Shit. That is a lot. That is way too many. A remote nade. Yeah, alright.
I'm sorry. I just can't stop them. Like a thousand of me arguing all
Damn.
at once.
Dr. Tilson, are you there?
Gotta start from here again. That's fine.
When your signal cut off, I
Doctor, listen to me. You have to issue the order to evacuate the
We've
station.
been trying. The Covenant, they've already taken over the landing bays.
Send me your coordinates. I'll see what I can do about clearing an evac route on my way.
Let's try this. See if it does anything. Oh, it's single shot. That's cool. At least we got a checkpoint. Damn. Not a whole lot of ammunition with that thing. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Hold up. Somebody got rid of those carbine rifles. Where you at? Okay. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna change some of the audio settings here. Let's see. Not hearing the music very well. I'd like to. What the hell?
What can we do to keep the Covenant out?
The harbor master controls can erect a barricade over the bay, but we'll have to locate them.
I didn't see that coming in. Oh, shit. bit too big for me to handle. What's she doing over there? Need a different gun.
Now, before they collect for another assault, reach the shield.
Ah. Well, almost had it.
What can we do to keep the Covenant out?
Harbor Master Controls can erect a barricade over
Oh,
the
I need
bay,
this.
but we'll have to locate them.
Shotgun was nice, but I didn't have enough ammunition for it. Just popped his shield and actually kill him. Ah.
Now, before they collect for another assault, reach the shield.
What we got in here? Shotgun? Alright.
That's it. Raise the barricade.
Oh, shit.
Dr. Tilson, they...
No! Oh, jeez. They got a bat on that one.
Now, before they collect for another assault, reach the shield.
Yeah, it was just too goddamn hot in there. Forgetting what I need the sprint button to.
Dr. Tilson, base 7 is secure and we're moving toward your position now.
Really? That's incredible. Thank you.
Out of here. Good soldier banter. What?
Didact doesn't know where the composer is. Just that it's on the station.
Yeah, they kind of do. Grunts sound like the nurse from Ujammer Lammy. That's good. What is that? Oh, shit. Oh, worked pretty good in that instance.
It sounds like the end of the world out there.
Cortana, door controls.
Oh,
Tilson's inside the door over there.
turned into an Atari game for a second.
I desperately hope you know why all this is happening. Because to be honest, my objectivity isn't doing me a whole lot of good right now. Hold on. I'll start us down.
The device you recovered was a Forerunner weapon.
She's still on Windows 10.
Commander that ship wants it back.
Wants it back? You don't think you can remove... It can't leave the station. You know that, right?
We don't have any choice, Doctor.
It's not a matter of choice. It took 3 months. And the biggest starship the UNSC could throw at it just to relocate it here. Unless you're a lot stronger than you look. It's not going anywhere.
Can you give Cortana access to the station's supply manifest?
What for?
If we can't move the composer, we have to make sure the Didact can't either.
Oh, wait. We have years of work invested here.
Inventory lists 7 excavation-grade Havoc mines. Just one of those would turn this base into a piñata.
I'm sorry, Doctor. Keep routing your people to the evac centers. Once we take care of the composer, you won't have much time.
I'll make sure the nukes are primed so you can detonate them remotely. Maybe next time you rescue us, you can give us more time to pack.
Next time.
Ah. They go good. Okay. Time to evacuate. Ooh. I like the look of this. It reminds me of sort of classic alien Nostromo.
So the legend lives. Outstanding.
Metal Gear.
Doctor, what was that?
Yeah, what was that?
The Covenant. The Covenant shot down the first evac shuttle.
The station should be equipped with outer turrets. If we can reactivate them, I can program the station's defenses to provide cover for the evacuation.
Okay, I'll send you the coordinates.
Warner, keep your eyes peeled and Bailey can stay out of the way. Keep it safe, gentlemen. Go.
Oh, new video. Ah, hee-haw music.
The flood is still too strong. Perhaps if I had greater numbers. Humans, your kind brought the flood to our shores. Now you will aid in ending its threat.
I don't know if that's helping.
They were to be safe here. I ensured they would rise once more, better than before.
Your pets have a nobler purpose ahead of them.
You do not face me in person after your deceit.
I have an army to build from the raw materials harvested this day. The citizens of this Halo are my first conscripts, and with them in my thrall, the Flood will meet its defeat. Humanity's loss of biological form will serve as final payment for their crimes. It is a kindness they do not deserve.
What will be done?
Move the other humans to safety. Ensure the security of their index samples. They must finish what we have failed to do.
Librarian, where are you going?
To stop my husband's madness.
All right. Well, we're getting bits and pieces of this story. I think I mentioned this before, but
This
About
node
upon hearing-
is trying to access something it's calling the domain.
I'll let
An
Cortana speak, I
off-world
guess.
data repository of some kind. though I'm only able to extract bits and pieces of the complete exchange. I'll log it for investigation later.
Anyway, I've been hearing that when it comes to the story for 4, there was a lot of groundwork that were laid in novels, which I guess Halo books were a pretty goddamn big thing, which you wouldn't think it would be, but it was. And apparently there was a lot of story bits that tie into this game that was laid in the novels, that was laid in the, like, I think even like a graphic novel that was tied in with this. So I don't know how required it is to check those beforehand, but I'm sort of wondering if a lot of these cutscenes are tying in a lot of that info that was established in that additional media. Get up off your ass.
Officer, seal the door behind me.
You impress me. Your singular power will be preserved and studied. Once your composition has been completed.
This way. Shit. And I saw him bust out those grenades at the last second. And I was caught in the middle of a reload. Oh, okay. I can't go through there anymore? Jeez, there's a lot of enemies back there.
The battle net's directing all troops to our position. Okay, Magnum's been good to me, but I'm gonna have to switch soon. No! Right in the middle of the switch. Switch.
Oh, jeez. Whoa! Goddamn. Buffing those guys up a little, huh? Somebody, okay, good. I was gonna say, is there another carbine around here? I feel like there should have been. Let's see how much ammo this has. I guess it's got a little more.
And powerful Didact shouldn't misplace his things. That's the main defense console. Prevention is the prerequisite for success. Why should we save them? Insert me into the defense grid.
Okay. I'm glad you're having fun.
Dr. Tilson, are you there?
I'm here. Any luck?
Cortana's bringing the defense grid online now.
Okay, that's it.
I hear it. We'll broadcast the final evac orders.
The nuke?
We're rigging it now. Meet us back on the upper platform and we'll help you get it to the artifact.
I'm gonna keep the carbine.
Chief,
Storm
if we
rifle.
can pull this off and actually get back to Halsey, don't tell her how bad I got. Please.
I won't say anything.
Thank you.
Oh, I thought I reloaded. He was going for a charge, but then the grunt in front of him blocked the path. Gave me ample time to retaliate.
Keep them away from it!
They found the composer.
Stop them, Chief! You can't let them tell him it's here!
Dr. Tilson, the composer's location's compromised. You've got to get that nuke down here. Ready or not, I need it now.
They're throwing everything they've got at us to get the composer.
Oh, jeez.
Another way!
Didn't I take one of those out pretty easily with this thing before?
Dr. Tilson, where's the warhead? Dr. Tilson.
Head back to the elevator platform. I'll keep trying to raise her.
There's another one of these over there, so I'm just gonna take it with me. Just in case I need to hop back in it. You little bastard.
Havoc mines will be in one of the cargo bays. Start us up. Chief, immense Casimir wave building outside the atrium.
Woohoo! You good? We good?
Cortana, see if you can raise Tilson. Get me a status on the rest of the station.
I can't believe you did that.
Cortana, I need that info. Look, don't think about the Didact. Don't think about the composer. Only focus on finding me Tilson.
Tilson. Sandra Kay. Female, 51 years of age. Doctor of Archaeology. Pegasi Institute. Got her! Biosignature stable on 350 level. B-deck.
Thank you, Cortana.
I need to take you back, or... Ah, there we go.
They've compromised the station's hull.
The Didact's taken the composer. Get these people to the evac centers.
Taken how?
Tap the flight deck. Find us something that can carry a payload.
Wait. Something's happening.
Cortana, can you access the station's defense systems?
They're not responding.
Yeah, they don't look good.
Cortana,
Chief, it's...
Oh. Okay, well, I wasn't expecting that. Master Chief dies. The rest of the game is Cortana thinking herself to death. Okay. A bold move.
Are you okay? I monitored the data pulse. I could hear them. What was left of them?
we need to move.
These people are gone.
and more will follow if the Didact reaches Earth.
They'll pair you with another AI. Maybe even another Cortana model if Halsey lets them.
That's not going to happen.
It won't be me. You know that, right? Spinning up a broadsword in Hangar C-11. Whatever the librarian did to you obviously worked.
Cortana. It's not over. Not yet.
Not yet.
Got Thanos a little bit, I don't know what necessarily that was. There was just like some sort of disintegration ray, or... But... in the end, they turned into ash and just blew away.
Approaching the Didact ship in 200 kilometers. Once we get on board, we'll find the bridge.
He's on the move again.
The fighter's shields aren't rated for slip space.
No, but the Didacts are.
Broadsword's hull integrity is stable. We'll be safe as long as we stay below the Didact shield.
Where's the composer?
Close. I should be able to guide us to it.
You have not been composed. Such an operation should not have been possible.
Locking onto his transmission. He's at the composer. We can take them both
It's
out.
like a very slow Ace Combat section. Ah, jeez. My bad.
Broadsword's hull integrity is stable. We'll be safe as long as we stay below the Didact shields.
Where's the composer?
Close. I should be able to guide us to it.
You have not been composed. Such an operation should not have been possible.
Locking onto his transmission. He's at the composer. We can take them both out at once.
What? Excuse me? How the hell did that happen? It was a clear... Okay, fine. Maybe I'm moving too fast. I don't know.
We'll be safe as long as we stay below the Didact shields.
Where's the composer?
Close. I should be able to guide us to it. radiation. He's at the composer. We can take them both out.
Ah, missiles. Oh, they got lock on.
To UNSC Infinity. Captain Del Rio.
Chief, it's Lasky. Is that you?
Affirmative, sir. Where's the captain?
Ah. This part's kind of cool, but it's sort of finicky with the... I don't know. Things I might be able to fly through, but maybe not. I'm not sure if I'm not paying attention close enough, or if there's an actual problem with the collision detection.
Sierra 117 to UNSC Infinity. Captain
Chief, it's Lasky. Is that you?
Affirmative, sir. Where's the captain?
Free Cop didn't take too kindly to his abandoning you on record.
Didact's got the composer. We're on broadsword carrying a Havoc-grade payload. On approach to deliver.
Let's see if we can grease the wheels for you. Ships, prepare to engage.
Commander, direct all your ships to the composer.
Copy that, Chief. Orbital Defense Command, this is Recon. Hostile inbound. Proceed to condition red.
Oh boy.
This is Earth Orbital Defense. Night defense is ineffective against enemy vessel. It's still approaching.
Something tugging me to the right.
Just closed off our entrance to the composer.
We could try punching a hole in that hull plating, but Infinity won't be able to get a clear shot with all that flag.
We'll take care of the guns.
Is that not what I'm supposed to hit? Let's see. There we go. It's like a Star Fox level.
Good to go.
It's a little more fancy-free, but still similar.
Only one gun left.
Actually, there's been a couple Ace Combat missions still like this, so it's a mix.
That's the last one. Infinity, you're clear.
Roger that, Chief. You might want to back up a little. Main battery, fire!
Clean hit. We're proceeding to insertion.
Acknowledged. We'll be on station if you need us. Make sure you give the Didact our regards. Infinity out.
Thanks, lads.
Hey, look out! I don't think this is going to end well!
Just gonna, like, climb up a ledge.
Now what do we do?
I'm surprised they didn't drop that line in. Let me just put this warhead on my ass.
Chief, I know I'm supposed to know what to do, but
We'll have to deploy the warhead manually. How and where?
I always know what to do. I always know what to do. Just give me a second.
Keep scanning for the composer. We'll figure it out on the way.
Okay.
Where reason does not stop you, perhaps force can at least delay you.
Okay. Guess that rifle's that big one that's lined up there.
I recommend entering the path to your left.
I detected an energy signature ahead. I think it's a transit system like on Requiem.
Find a way to access it. I'll try to route us to the composer. Put me in the system.
Is this the secret you've kept from me? This evolved ancillary.
Didact knows I'm in the system. Hurry, go!
Portal!
I sense your malfunctioning companion, human. And yet, she eludes me.
Simultaneously! Opening another portal.
Not seeing it. Whoa, jeez. I guess he had that explosive gun.
Opening another portal.
Assemble faster. No. Son of a bitch. Oh, shit. Let's try this. There we go.
Sorry, I can't control what my processes are doing. The stronger threads keep reprioritizing themselves over me.
What about the Didact?
I can't hide much longer. I'll try to
Oh,
move
this
you
thing.
to the composer again.
Old gravity hammer. Out of here.
Portal open! Far side of the room!
Where are you?
The Didact's cloaking the composer from me. Reinforcements! Hold them off while I locate the composer.
Okay.
I've taken control of the local defense turret.
Of course, as soon as I disable it. Damn AI, I can't trust it to do anything.
them, but I don't know for how long.
How do we get over there?
Can barely. End of the ramp. If we time it right, our momentum should carry us through the low gravity.
Chief,
Hope we
once
timed
that
it right.
warhead is primed, the window for getting out of here is going to be pretty slim.
I know.
And so you come at last.
Activity! Significant slip space event building under the composer.
He's powering it up.
The Didact shielded himself inside the composer. The nuke won't do us any good unless we can disable that barrier. Find me a terminal.
Got one right here. What luck?
I've got to do something you're not going to like.
What did you just do?
I ejected my rampant personality spikes into the system. If I do that at each of those beams, the copy can overwhelm the composer's shielding. Get ready!
Uh-oh. Let's try that again.
Before the Didact sends reinforcements.
I need another gun for this. anything I could switch my weapon off? There we go. Okay, massive cannon, I guess. Oh, wait, no. I'll take the bolt shot. And this, I guess. Scattershot ain't gonna do me much good, I think.
You humans sought the Didact. You will have him.
Chief, this ship's in range. Once the barrier's down, get the nuke in there fast.
Shit. Oops. Just enough. Oh, jeez. Oh, shit, no! I was thinking at the last second, do I have enough clearance if I jump backwards? No, I didn't. grenades.
And yet, still you fail.
Cortana!
Almost felt like I didn't make that.
You persist too long after your own defeat. Come then, warrior. Have your resolution. So misguided. Humanity's imprisonment is a kindness.
In that case, you won't mind if we return the favor.
Your compassion for mankind is misplaced.
I'm not doing this for mankind.
What? Oh. I was like, it's a weird view. I don't know what's going on here. I see. I will press all keys to climb. Let's see, asshole. Press F to pay respect.
Cortana. Cortana, do you read? Cortana, come in. How?
Oh, I'm the strangest thing you've seen all day?
But if we're here...
It worked. You did it. Just like you always do.
So how do we get out of here?
I'm not coming with you this time.
What?
Most of me is down there. I only held enough back to get you off the ship.
No. That's not... We go together.
It's already done.
I am not leaving you here.
John. I've waited so long to do that.
It was my job to take care of you.
We were supposed to take care of each other. And we did.
Cortana, please. Wait.
Welcome home, John.
Oh my god. Like 5 achievements. I guess that means it's the end of the game.
Mind if I join you?
Of course not, sir.
At ease, Chief. Feels kind of odd for you to call me sir. Beautiful, isn't she? I don't get to see her often enough. I grew up in New Harmony, attended Corbulo Military Academy. Never saw Earth in person until I was an adult, but I still think of her as home. You don't talk much, do you? Chief, I won't pretend to know how you feel. I've lost people I care about, but never anything like you're going through.
Our duty as soldiers is to protect humanity, whatever the cost.
You say that like soldiers and humanity are two different things. I mean, soldiers aren't machines. We're just people. I'll let you have the deck to yourself.
She said that to me once. About being a machine.
In this hour of victory, we taste only defeat. I ask why. We are forerunners, guardians of all that exists. The roots of the galaxy have grown deep under our careful tending. Where there is life, the wisdom of our countless generations has saturated the soil. Our strength is a luminous sun towards which all intelligence blossoms. And the impervious shelter beneath which it has prospered. I stand before you, accused of the sin of ensuring Forerunner ascendancy, of attempting to save us from this fate where we are forced to recede. Humanity stands as the greatest threat in the galaxy. Refusing to eradicate them is a fool's gambit. We squander eons in the darkness, while they seize our triumphs for their own. The mantle of responsibility for all things belongs to Forerunners alone. Think of my acts as you will. But do not doubt the reality. The reclamation has already begun. And we are hopeless to stop it.
Realistically, though, how long has it been since he took that armor off? I think it's been a minute. Probably could use a refresher. Okay, that is it for Halo 4. Wow, it's been a long time coming. We're pretty much done with the Master Chief Collection. Except in the case of if I want to do Reach or not, and that is the big question. So, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do Reach. I didn't like it, but I've got a feeling like it might play into 5, and I want to do 5 simply because it's a mainline game, and I bought it. Granted, it was cheap, but, you know, still an investment. So 5 will happen at some point for sure, but Reach, I don't know if I want to do that now, or I guess I'll, you know what, maybe we'll determine that as things come. But I think if whenever I do the next Halo game, it might be Reach, just because there's the potential that it could play into 5 somehow or something. If anything, it's just finishing up the Master Chief Collection, because really, I mean, you know, I've played all of them except for Reach, so might as well just do it, I guess. In any case, 4 was very different, and I don't know, I feel like that might be where the primary bone of contention was for a lot of people that didn't enjoy this game. I saw very little problem with it outside of maybe the story. Gameplay mechanics were sound. I did like some of the new added features, such as the vehicle segments and combat. I thought those were kind of fun, interesting, sort of freshen things up a bit. Otherwise, you know, just the basic shooty. The standard mechanics for the game were just as good as all the other ones as far as I'm concerned. There were a few differences with the weapons. I was disappointed with some of the rifles in particular, long-range sniper rifles that were a lot less powerful than they were. However, some of the new guns are kind of fun. I did dig that SAM, the LMG type deal. Some of the new Knight type weapons, or whatever you want to call them, those are interesting. Although they pretty much functioned like every other weapon, but still, some of the new stuff was fine. I don't recall having a huge problem with any of them. Even the sticky grenade, that wasn't too bad. It's just that it was a single shot deal, and you know, you kind of had to time it right. But otherwise, didn't really have a problem with that. Visuals very nice in this game. I don't know if they fixed it up or if this is just primarily a direct port of what it was before, but still, good looking game. I feel like the level design was fine. Didn't really have a problem with navigating the corridors. I feel like there wasn't anything that was too similar, like in cases of 1 and 2, where it felt like I was treading the same ground a lot. Actually, I think in ODST that was a problem too. Just kind of moving through a lot of similar looking stuff. So I think they managed to keep things fresh throughout the entirety of the gameplay, and that's, you know, that was fine. Music was good. I enjoyed it again. It's something different. I don't think it's quite as quirky or maybe as unique as previous Halo soundtracks go, but from what I heard, it was pretty damn good. There's a couple tracks in there that I really ended up liking. And I felt like it fit the different theme and tone of the game. So, you know, again, I think the key term here is just different, but that doesn't necessarily mean that any of this was bad. So, big thing with the story though, we kind of run into some cliche themes here. You know, you got the big bad primary antagonist, almost superhero, supervillain like in his stature and how he's brought up and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, you know, at the end of the day, it was just like a destroy the world type plot, so nothing too advanced there. Kind of eye-rolling a little bit when, you know, what's-her-face, the progenitor, forerunner, woman alien, was like, you are the chosen one, Master Chief. I have built humanity from the ground up so that you could be created. And I'm like, really? That's like I said, all the stars were in alignment for that one. That's just a little too cliche and a little bit too far-fetched given what's happened in, you know, the previous games. But But I mean, you know, other than that, the biggest, I mean, maybe one of the biggest problems was they didn't really, there wasn't much of a payoff for any of that. I mean, you know, Master Chief was imbued with the immunity to whatever the hell Didact was using to disintegrate people and turn them into raw materials, but you know, it's not much else. Just wasn't I don't think there was enough build up for that to be the case for Master Chief, and then there wasn't enough payoff in the actual story where it felt like much of a big deal. It's just like something that kind of happens, and then it's like, oh god, yeah, he's the chosen one. But then it doesn't really amount to much at the end of the day. So it's like, whatever. I'm sure a lot of people probably would have had a problem with the increased characterizations between Cortana and Master Chief. I'm sure there was a lot of eye rolling going on, like, oh, this pussy shit. You know, when there's like this slightly emotional moment at the end when Cortana, quote unquote, dies. I feel it was justified and warranted given the build-up, you know, even as limited as it might seem between the two. I feel after like 3 games, you know, having that little tinge of emotion there is fine. And I feel like that was a better payoff than most anything else that was brought up with this particular game. But, you know, it is what it is. It wasn't... I wasn't like as emotionally affected by it, but part of that might have been because I already knew that she would be gone, because I played 5 somewhat before I played this one, so I didn't know what the hell was going on in 5, but you know, they still bring you up to speed with some of the issues, and it's like, oh, Cortana's dead, and I'm like, oh, okay, thanks, game. I guess I should have known that skipping, you know, like 3 or 4 games before hitting up that one, but I didn't know it was going to be a problem or that was going to happen. But yeah, it's like, it didn't hit me that hard, and maybe that's because I already knew what was going to happen, or maybe that's because it wasn't as effective as it could have been. But in any case, it is what it is. I didn't mind it. I didn't think it was that big of a detriment to the story. I do like sort of the more humanization of Master Chief. He's not quite the silent protagonist in the previous games, but there's not much to him other than he's just strict soldier man that follows orders and saves the day. So, you know, having him kind of rebel against his CO and take matters into his own hands, and having sort of like this somewhat offbeat relationship with Cortana throughout 4 was sort of interesting. I don't think, like I said, it was a detriment at all to any of the story or an assassination of his character, but that's because he didn't really have much of a character. However, people take things like that way out of hand. Characters that don't have character and then get character later on in the series, that tends to strike a hell of a nerve with core fan bases. And, you know, I think the more games have evolved, the more story and depth kind of has to be put in them, because that's just, you know, what the public likes as a general populace. That's sort of like the in thing, you know, it's changing themes, changing times. You sort of have to up the ante. And I guess you don't have to, but, you know, this is corporations that we're talking about. They're trying to appeal to broad audiences. So, yeah, it's going to be different as more time goes along. And sometimes you're not going to like it. Sometimes you are. A lot of people didn't like this one. I didn't come to the conclusion that it's a bad game by any means. I actually think it's pretty good. It's probably one of the better ones that I played. We do have to take into account that multiplayer is not going to be factored into my opinion of the game. I know that multiplayer is a big factor when it comes to the Halo series, and that can definitely affect people's opinions on the game. I'm probably not going to be playing much of the multiplayer. I played a few rounds of CE and 2 and Reach with a friend, and that might be the extent of it. I don't think I'm going to just jump in on my own and play it, so I'm going to have no opinion shared on that. all my opinions on the Halo series games is going to be kind of strictly based off of... Well, actually, no, it is going to be strictly based off the single-player campaign, because even if I do play the multiplayer, I don't feel that that affects my overall opinion of the game. But yeah, basically, if there was a problem with the multiplayer, then I wouldn't know about it. And I frankly don't care, because that's not what I'm playing the games for. But as far as a single-player campaign goes, I think it was pretty dang good. And like I said, aside from some cliche moments with the story, and as I said before in previous streams, the story's a little bit convoluted. We did have a couple of these scenes here and there that sort of clarified some things with the Forerunners, but obviously I'm pretty sure that that wasn't in the base game, so I can imagine that some of the stuff would have been fairly confusing for players. And like I said earlier this stream, some of it might have even been tied to the books and the graphic novels, and if that was the case, that sucks. I'm glad that with the Master Chief Collection, they were able to somewhat rectify that. But yeah, I can't speak much on what this game was like when it originally came out, because I didn't have a 360, and yeah, I wasn't playing it at the time of release, so who knows. I do have something interesting here. Let's take a look at weird messages on YouTube again. There was a thread on this game, I believe last week when it came out, and old Mongolian basket weaving forum site. The question was proposed: why is Halo 4 bad? And I didn't look into it yet because I didn't want to spoil anything in the game for me, despite the fact that probably the biggest spoiler was already spoiled for me. But in any case, that was my reasoning for not looking into it. Besides, I wanted to formulate my own opinion before actually, taking a look at the opinions of others. But I am curious, because it's always a curiosity for me when it comes to these types of things, what the biggest problem is for people. Let me take this away, because we're not BRBing, we're just taking a look at something here. So, why is Halo 4 bad? First response: there's nothing good about it. Okay. Second response: story plays out like a fanfic. Art style doesn't fit Halo. Enemy variety is garbage. The gameplay in campaign isn't outright offensive like Halo 5, but it's nothing special either. Okay, fair points on that. We talked about the story a bit, and yeah, it is, I guess if you want to call it fanfic-like, it sort of lines up with that, but, it is what it is. Art style doesn't fit Halo. I don't know about that. I'm trying to think what didn't fit in. I know there was a lot of changes when it came to like the looks of the weapons, looks of some of the vehicles, but nothing was like outright, oh my god, this is such a massive change. Master Chief's armor looked different, which I actually liked it better than any previous iteration. I don't know. Something about that form-fitting suit being visible underneath made him look more beefy for some reason. But let's see, what else? I remember that to understand the story, you have to read some books, and the art change was annoying. Otherwise, I have no problem. Okay. So that's what we were talking about before. That's what I had touched on. I think, yeah, when this game originally came out, there's probably a lack of clarification when it came to some of the plot lines. So I could see that being an issue. Turns out Chief is a Covenant agent that was betrayed by the Arbiter and brainwashed by Oni into thinking he was a Spartan. Cortana is a hologram. This has no punctuation whatsoever. Into thinking he was a Spartan. Cortana is a hologram based off his dead wife and is used to control. I think this is somebody's taking the piss out of this. Cortana is a hologram based off his dead wife and is used to control him. You get to decide between killing Captain Key's grandson and blowing up Earth or killing Arbiter. Okay. Point number 5. Co-op was unplayable. Don't know anything about that. Moving on. Still reeling about that other one. I replayed the first mission because it came out on Steam and I paid for the MCC. I remember thinking when it first came out, it was comically bad, but I'd play through the whole thing, so how bad was it? The first okay, so he did play through? Okay, yeah, whatever. Let's see. The first mission played exactly like that shitty Universal Studios ride called Backdraft, if anyone's old enough to remember that shit. A lot of random explosions, yelling for dramatic effect from Cortana and Chief. Why the fuck is Master Chief talking this much? And there were even spots where the floor did a fake fall, where it only really fell a foot to make it feel like it was falling. The entire spaceship was exploding around me, and it just felt cheesy and lame. The above tied in with the QuickTime events that showed how bad it was very quickly. What? Also, the fucking Needler sounds atrocious. I don't know who the fuck QC'd that shit, but that was fucking terrible. Okay, so the only QuickTime event that I can think of, which I don't think it even was a QuickTime event, was at that very end sequence when you're trying to climb back up on the bridge. Was there anything else? I don't remember anything else that could have been classified as a QuickTime event. Well, in any case, I didn't have a problem with the opening level. I thought it was kind of nice. You know, you got to start off sort of with a bang, right? I don't know. Yeah, it was scripted in a sense, the opening segment, but it's not like, I'm trying to think. It's like other Halo games, I guess, kind of put you right into a combat situation, but there isn't that much theatric about it. So I guess maybe they had a problem with that, but I don't know. I can't agree with that. And the QuickTime events, who knows? The sounds on second thought, we didn't really cover that, but the sound effects for some of the staple guns I noticed did sound a little flabby, like, you know, the pulse rifle or maybe the Needler. I don't know. I just remember a few of them didn't sound like they had a whole lot of punch. But at the same time, I feel like there was a lot of weapons in Halo that probably didn't sound like they were as effective as they could have been. Okay. Moving on. The Prometheans are absolutely fucking boring enemies, both visually and to fight. And the fact that they team up with the Covenant so early robs the player of AI skirmishes amongst each other with Halo 1 through 3. Okay. Here's one thing that I thought was weird about Halo 4. I think that when it comes to the Covenant, boy, it seemed like we're missing a lot on that. I know that they kind of gloss over it by saying, like Cortana says something like, well, a lot can happen in 4 years. But I feel like there should have been more. There wasn't a whole lot of explanation as to why the Covenant was back together again. Like, you know, the elites were there, other than maybe 343 just wanted to have elites. I feel like they probably could have done something else, or maybe introduced a new enemy, or had different types of brutes, or maybe modify the grunts or something like that. But I don't know. And it did seem kind of weird that they teamed up with the Prometheans. Like, I guess the Didact convinced them somehow to fight against Master Chief. I'm not too sure what exactly happened there, thinking about it. So yeah, that is kind of weird. There are slight little segments where the Covenant is fighting against the Prometheans, but yeah, it doesn't really last too long before everybody's on your ass. So I think lack of explanation, really. I don't really mind the fact that they team up on you, but I feel like there some sort of explanation should have been warranted between the Covenant attacking you and why the Covenant was a basic unit again. I feel like that was it gets brought up in 5 at some point, but I don't know. That's my recollection of what I played on 5 is spotty. Let's see. Every enemy has some sort of jump pack or teleport ability because the devs couldn't program basic pathfinding AI, and the enemies kept getting stuck on cover, so they just jump over it. Basically, every enemy is shit to fight, and that's all Halo ever really had going for it. Okay. I think I saw one instance where there was an enemy that was, like, sort of trapped. It was an elite. It was on this stream. But I don't think I remember there being any other issues. Otherwise, I couldn't really tell a difference between a lot of the AI pathfinding in this game and some of the others. I'm trying to think if there's like any outstanding issues, but not really. The only ones I had teleport abilities were the Prometheans, like the big knights. Everything else just sort of ran around you or towards you. The quadruped Promethean things, they had jumping abilities, but I can't say that everything did, especially not the Covenant. Most of the Covenant seem the same, so I don't know about that one. Somebody posted a meme image. That tells me nothing. Because it's not made by Bungie Daddy, sad face, everything should be like Halo 3, the first Halo game I played. Obviously being sarcastic. Next point. No playable elites. Weapon spawns are gone. Everyone has sprint. Map control is no longer important. Loadouts are OP. Everyone dies too quickly. Custom game settings are ruined. Campaign is dog shit. It doesn't even feel like Halo. Most of that is towards multiplayer, so I can't acknowledge any of that since I haven't played it. The one point on the campaign was that it's dog shit, so I guess we'll just have to take that at face value. Oh god, this is a long one. Art directions of humans having flat, hard-edged, utilitarian designed vehicles and armor, while the Covenant use rounded, over-designed war gear now out the window. Both factions clash in places, especially with the addition of Forerunner tech, which looks like human stuff, but with less paint. Also, Spartans are now spindly freaks that look like a weird cross between Mountain Dew Power Rangers and elites. The writing is bad. People in the campaign treat Master Chief like some old man who's past his prime, despite him being in cryostasis between the end of 3 and the start of 4. The lack of reverence for him is especially weird considering he's practically the hero of mankind, but is probably more of a reflection of 343 being shitty because they like their OCs better. Speaking of which, they added a strong, independent female Spartan commander whose character revolves around her being abrasive because, of course, she is. Wait, who was that? Oh, wait. The one chick that showed up for like 5 minutes? 343 has this shitty design philosophy of portraying the Master Chief as a character rather than as a faceless vessel for the player to experience the game through, and as such, will force him through character-focused cutscenes whenever possible, rather than telling the story during gameplay. Story elements in 343 games are introduced in media separate from the games and will require you to read comics and novels, or just visit the wiki to even understand what the fuck is happening, a common trait amongst companies trying to chase trends rather than set them. As for gameplay, they kept sprinting and added loadouts for multiplayer. Expect to move slower overall and forget about strafing attacks. Multiplayer games will now play more like COD, Call of Duty. So expect everyone to run around like headless chickens and respawn with better weapons that de-emphasize map control. The Forerunner enemies in the campaign are also unresponsive and boring to shoot because they're just robots filled with orange goo. There's a lot to unpack with that one. Mostly it seems like it has a problem with cutscenes instead of dialogue being given in-game, but there was a lot of that and there wasn't too many cutscenes, so I don't know. The media thing sucks. I get that. I feel like they kind of dispersed, as we talked about, some of the explanation that was probably covered in or exposition that was probably covered in the novels or whatever into the game via those weird cutscenes, but you know, it is what it is. At least they tried to correct it when the Master Chief Collection came out, but that would have sucked. I don't know about the art direction bullshit. It's like, it largely seemed the same to me. Like the humans still had the boxy, kind of weird designs when it came to the weapons and the vehicles and everything, and Covenant still had the rounded designs. Prometheans looked pointier. They were sort of squared off like the human stuff, but it had sharper edges to it and was white. I feel like that's a fair enough distinction between all of it. Not much of a problem with that. I don't know. We talked about the issue with the potential issue with having Master Chief having a further developed character. I feel like with the story they were trying to tell, it probably would have been a little bit more necessary to have him speak some more. But again, I just didn't see the problem with it. I feel like what they did, it didn't deviate too far from what you'd think Master Chief would be like. I mean, again, he doesn't have much of a personality. Yes, he's supposed to be the, surrogate for the player, but I don't know. That's like a whole can of beans to open up, talking about like what a playable character in a video game should be. Whether he's just a stand-in for the player himself or something else. I don't know. Let's see. I hate how Master Chief talks in game. He never did that before, and it's a design choice that feels aimed at 5-year-olds with ADHD. Besides that, new weapons are redundant. New enemies are boring. Everything is now dark and edgy. Story is retarded. Loadouts. Okay. I guess people really didn't like the loadouts in the multiplayer. This is mainly poor weapon balancing, forgettable music, bad level design, boring atmosphere, brutal AI, and terrible art design, along with a mediocre story. Brutal AI, I wonder what that means. Does that mean it's too hard, or does that mean it's too stupid? I don't know. I complimented the level design. I thought the level design was fine. I didn't see a problem with it. Let's see, forgettable music, talked about that. I mean, again, it sounds a little more generic instead of like the quirky soundtrack by, I forget his name, but the composer that did the compositions for the previous games. Definitely different compared to ODST. ODST probably had the most unique soundtrack out of all the Halo games so far, but again, I didn't have a problem with it. Maybe it's bland for some people. I thought there was a couple tracks in there that were pretty good, but, music is such a divisive thing. Poor weapon balancing, I don't know. Again, some of the weapons that were powerful in previous games got nerfed in this one, so I could see some issue with that, but otherwise, not really much of a problem for me. I got another big one here. Let's see. This one's mostly about the multiplayer, so I'm going to skip that one. Next, Prometheans are easily the worst enemy ever created for Halo, and you fight them for 90% of the game. I would say no on both counts. I don't think you fight the Prometheans for 90% of the game. I feel like there's a decent balance between the Covenant and the Prometheans. There are big sections where you fight just the Prometheans, but there are also big sections where you fight just the Covenant, so I feel like it was more balanced than, one overtaking the other. And they're, I don't know. Boring, I wouldn't say they're boring. I feel like especially the quadruped ones, they added a unique dynamic because they could crawl on the walls and they're super fast, and, sometimes they'll jump and leap at you from the skies, so you'd have to keep checking your surroundings. Also, the big night ones with their teleportability, you'd have to watch out for that. I feel like it was a different take. I feel like had they just made them, Covenant-based enemies, just with a new coat of paint, probably would have been worse received, but I thought that the Prometheans felt unique. Whether or not they're as fun to fight as a Covenant, maybe not, but it's a slightly different dynamic. You got the big turret enemies, you got the flying ones that provide the shields for the big knights, you got the knights that can teleport, use heavy weapons, you got the dog looking things that are super mobile. So it's a different type of enemy. I would neither call it boring, nor the worst enemy, nor did I think that we fought them too much. So I don't know. Story is garbage, and the Prometheans are not fun to fight. Just teleporting bullet sponges, samey levels. For the multiplayer, too many COD elements. Alright, well, can't comment on the multiplayer again. Reiterating the same points with the Prometheans. And people got the problem with the teleporting. There's one enemy of the Prometheans that teleports. Everything else doesn't. So I guess it really stuck with people. Let's see. Showing the Forerunners really took away the mystery that surrounded them. Alright. That's just like a statement. I mean, obviously, if you're developing a story around the Forerunners, it's going to take a little bit of mystery away, but I don't know. If it's the way they decided to go, I don't see that that's a problem. Let's see. I could list a million things wrong with it, but the changes to the multiplayer alone should make you seethe. They got rid of the weapons on the map and made everything loadout based. For a Halo game, this is immensely retarded. Can't comment on that, but I'm just putting that point out there. Let's see. It's the most apparent go from point A to point B of them. Every level is just plugging Cortana into a computer. 3 waves of bad guys, plug her into another computer, then go to a teleporter for the next level. After playing Halo 4 a bit more, I have to agree. Despite being a shooter filled with action, it's just very predictable, which makes it boring. No, I don't think so. The last segment there, yes, there was a lot of going to... I mean, well, the thing is that all Halos, except for ODST, have been fairly linear. So, I mean, yeah, point A to point B, that tends to be how Halo works. I don't remember a Halo where you had freedom of choice as to where you could go, except, like I said, with ODST. And even then, you have to go to a specific spot. But you could choose which way you want to go, I guess. Yeah, there was a lot of having to plug Cortana into the modules, particularly at the end of the game. But it was sort of dispersed throughout. I don't think it overtook the majority of it, though. What about that big, like, Gears of War segment where we were on the, what do they call it, the Mammoth, and had to traverse the canyon and fight off all the big ships and use the targeting indicator? What about all the fight segments, all the vehicle segments? I don't know. Finally, it's not a sequel to Halo 3. Everything was drastically changed and feels different. On top of that, everything in the narrative regarding the Forerunners is retarded. Prometheans aren't fun to fight. The level design is mediocre. Alright. Well, that's about it. I'm sure there's more points, but I feel like that is a good enough melting pot for us to determine what the problems people had with this game were. One, multiplayer changed to be more reflective of Call of Duty, which, you know, given that Call of Duty was a huge franchise in the late 2000s to the 2010s, yeah, I could see it being annoying that, or Halo is its own thing, and then it makes shifts and strides to try to be more like another game. I see that being annoying. Other issue people have with the story, Master Chief talking, which in and of itself apparently is just a sin, and basically problems with the Forerunners losing their mystique, I guess. Other problem is the Prometheans. People didn't like the teleporting in particular. Seems to be a major point. So I guess people don't like teleporting enemies. Who knew? On a light note, seems like the weapon choice wasn't preferable, but it seems like most of the stuff is there. I think the biggest problem is just some of the guns don't work like they have in the previous games. I think that's the thing. Overall, I'd say like the biggest problem is just that it's different. I'm kind of on the fence because I could see where that's a problem. Yes, when things are too different, it turns me off to a certain game that might be associated with the series. Let's take Metal Gear for instance. You know, Rising, DMC clone, super uber campy jokes, just balls to the wall weirdness, which isn't completely foreign from the franchise, but they take it to a new level in that one. Not something I enjoy, but you know, I feel like maybe if we can look past some of that. I don't think it was as drastic a change from Halo 3 to Halo 4 as, like, you know, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater to Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. It's, again, I can understand it, but I just don't feel like the changes were that significant where people would just outright have, like, the biggest issue with it. But, you know, people got issues with it, so it's just I can't see it from my personal standpoint from what I played. And again, I got a unique standpoint considering that most of these games I've not played before. The ones that I did play were years ago, and I'm just going through the series now and strictly playing the single player campaigns. So I don't have that built up reputation with the series like most people would have, so I'm sure that affects it in a way. You know, when you have something that's a little more longevity with you, you're probably going to be more upset when it suddenly makes some changes to the standard formula. But yeah, I guess that's about it. I don't know that I outright disagree hard with most of the complaints that people have, but I just don't share the opinion. Let's say that much. In any case, that ate up a lot of time, but I was curious about it. And yeah, it's always something I want to find out, especially when there's a long-running series and then there's a new entry that comes out and people just have like the biggest problem with it. I always want to find out why is it such an issue? I like Halo 4. A lot of people don't. And hey, that's cool. Whatever works. But I don't think it was a bad game. And we'll continue the series eventually, provided I don't have continued internet issues. I might even start a new one up this week. I am going to be playing something completely different, probably next time I stream, but we might end up doing a new Halo sometime this week, a little bit later on. Whether it's going to be Reach or whether it's going to be 5, I don't know. Either way, not completely looking forward to either of them. Definitely not as much as any of the previous games that I've played, but yeah, I feel like it's necessary at this point. So whenever it happens, it happens. Either way, that's going to be it for me. So thanks for watching. I hope it was insightful. I hope we enjoyed what we could out of the game. But yeah, interesting experience. So until next time, you guys take care. Have a good night. See you next time.